Welcome back, our lovely people. This is episode number 3. We are still looking at how to know and find the one. And we already looked at what God was trying to do and what he instructed Adam to be and to become before he ever put Adam to sleep. Episode 2, a quick recap. We see what God tried or God did to Adam before before God actually ever presented Eve to Adam. And what is that? He first caused Adam to die to self. All right. And I'm not going to do a broad recap. If you guys haven't watched episode 1 and 2, I encourage you, before you watch this one, if possible, please go and watch episode number 1 and 2, or else this might be a little bit complicated to understand because I'm just building on each brick I lay as a foundation until we have the whole house built. All right. And again, don't forget, please share, subscribe, like these videos, comment. We'd love to hear from you. A few prayer requests if you have them, testimonies if you have them, or whatever God has put on your heart, please share. We are a family and we cannot wait to hear from you. All right. Now, let's dive into episode number 3. I can't wait. So, episode number 3. What happens? Adam is sleeping. God has now killed Adam. He has killed Adam to self. And when you read Genesis chapter 2, same verses we've been reading in episode 1 and 2, after God causing Adam to fall into a deep sleep, it says, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Now, notice this. While Adam was sleeping. Now, here's principle number 2. Or here's what happens. As you are dying to self, God now starts to work on your partner, your friend, whoever they might be. Now, keep in mind, the devil distorts the system and the systematic methodology of God. And so sometimes you will get a friend, you will make a friend, or you will enter into a relationship way before you are ever ready. So I am not saying that this is the only way people enter relationships. What I'm trying to say is this is the God way to enter relationships. I hope that gives you the distinction. Because you don't have to apply a single one of these things I've shared, and I'm going to share for you to actually find a lover or make a good friend or enter into a relationship. You don't have to do this. The problem is people like looking at the result or the goal and forget the foundation. We are so awestruck by the splendor and the beauty of the house, and no one bothers to ask, but how deep does the foundation go? Because no matter how beautiful the building is on the surface and on the outside, if the foundation is weak, that beautiful building will crumble. So it's not about, I just want to be in a relationship. I don't need to go through all these 5 steps, 6 steps to actually have a wonderful relationship. I can just walk up to him right now. I can walk up to her right now. I can just DM them. I can send them an email and we are friends. Boom. Simple as that. And yes, you can. But how long do you want it to last? What principles, what value systems do you want your relationship to actually be on? How do you want to interact? All those things are so important. So if the foundation is off, then the whole structure is wrong. All right. So this is what God does next. While Adam was sleeping, and we looked at what sleeping means. So while Adam was dying to self, God removed his rib. That thing that Eve was going to come out of, that God was going to make Eve from, God said, now, Adam, you have died to self enough for me now to start actively preparing your suitable helper. Okay? And this both applies on the flip side of the coin. Because someone will say, well, so are you trying to say that in every relationship, there's one person who's dying to self and then the other person isn't? And then when the person dies to self to a certain degree, then God starts saying, okay, now let me prepare the other person. That's not what I'm saying. Keep in mind, Adam was all of him. What I mean by all of him was, you can't separate Adam's leg from Adam. Adam's leg is part of Adam. You can't separate Adam's head from Adam. Adam's head is part of Adam. Same, you cannot separate Adam's rib from Adam. Adam's rib is part of Adam. So, what happened to the rib just before God took it out? If Adam was dying to self, if God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and how I know the death was gradual, because deep sleep does not start by being deep sleep. It just starts by being sleep. And then it comes stronger and stronger, or deeper and deeper and deeper. So if the sleep, death, became stronger and stronger and stronger, or deeper and deeper and deeper until the Bible could acknowledge that it was a deep sleep, that simply means the death was gradual. It intensified gradually. Hence deep sleep. All right? I hope that makes sense. Now, if Adam's rib was in him through that process of the gradual increase of death, that means the rib too was gradually dying. Does that make sense? As I said, you cannot separate the rib from Adam. They are two in the same. They are part of a whole body. All right? So, before God removed the rib, and now I need you to start envisioning the rib as Eve. Not just the rib anymore. Now the rib is Eve, sorry. So before God removed Eve, Adam was dying. Adam was dying. Meaning Eve too was dying to self. So in every relationship, as one is being dealt with, God's heart is that the other person too can allow God to deal with them. Not just one being dealt with and the other one is just doing their own thing. That's not how God works. So as Adam was dying, all of Adam was dying, and the rib is part of Adam. So meaning Eve was inside Adam dying as well. So both people have to die. So as you're praying for God to lead you to the right relationship, lead you to the right friendship, and you say, God, I understand now your principles. I understand how you work, your methodologies, God. Kill me to self. Kill me to my selfish ambitions, my selfish desires, my pride, my ego, my arrogance, my jealousy, my envy. Kill me to self. You too should be praying for the other person who God is going to bring into your life, that God does the same thing for them. And that person, as God is doing it to them, they should be praying for you as well. They might not know you. Adam did not know Eve yet. So you do not need to know the person God is bringing into your life. You just need to trust that whoever God brings into your life is the best fit, because God knows what you need even more than you do. But before they come into your life, your prayer should be, God, as you are killing me to self, as you're making me more kind, as you're making me more faithful, more trustworthy, more loving, more merciful, more compassionate, do the same to the person you are going to bring into my life, so that when we meet, all we do is extend kindness to each other, extend compassion to each other, extend love to each other. Does that make sense? I really hope it does. So, that is exactly what was happening. As Adam was dying to self, Eve was dying to self. That is God's plan. That is His perfect plan. That's how He desires us to walk on this journey of finding friends, finding the right relationship, spousal or casual, whatever it could be. That's how God desires it to be. Now, after God removes the rib, because now He's like, okay, now it's time for me to now actively work on Eve. So God removes Adam's rib, and He forms, out of the rib, He forms Eve. Okay? And on our 4th episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what happens next. And our 4th episode is really going to kind of zero down a little more on marital relationships, for those of you who want to date and then court and then take it all the way up to marriage. And I hope for everyone who is dating, the idea is to court marriage. For those of you who are not yet dating, please enter it with the understanding that this is supposed to lead to marriage. All right? So yeah, on our 4th episode, we're going to look at something, and I'm going to zero down a little bit more on the intimate relationships and God's mind behind them. So we're going to be switching focus a little bit from Adam, and we're going to be focusing on Eve a little more on our episode number 4. So women, all the wonderful ladies watching the podcast right now, tuckle in your seatbelts. It's going to be a wonderful episode. And again, I just want to thank every single one of you who has watched thus far. Please, guys, if you haven't watched episode 1 and 2, make sure you do. Thank you for watching episode 3. Share these around as much as you can. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a prayer request. We'd love to pray with you. Leave a testimony. We'd love to celebrate and be happy for you and with you and praise the Lord with you. If you need help in any way, if you're going through a crisis, maybe a relationship is failing, and you just need someone to talk to, we're here for you. We're here with you. But don't forget that the goal of these episodes are not just for you to learn a thing or two, but the goal of these episodes are for you to dive into the heart and the mind of Christ, dive into the heart and mind of God, so that you know that this is how God designed things to be. And maybe for my life to walk circumspectly, and also powerfully, filled with wisdom and just advantage and increase and the power and the glory of the Lord, I need to align myself and actually follow the way in which God desired life to be. And certain things that I desire to access in this life, like relationships, maybe there's a correct way God desires us to enter into a relationship, find a good relationship. And because I want a good relationship, because I want my relationship to glorify God, I think I'm going to do it the God way. I don't just think I am going to do it the God way. So that's why we're sharing these things. But it's also to make your Christian journey a little more easier, to give you a more clarity and understanding and revelation and wisdom and illumination on the mysteries of the kingdom. And I hope you're being blessed. I hope that the podcast is helping you. But also beyond that, we host people, guys. So it's not just all the time Andrew speaking. We also host people, and we have people on the show to share their life experiences. And hopefully one day we'll be able to invite you too, to share your life experience and also impact a whole generation. Amen. So guys, this is going to bring us to the close of episode number 3. We're going to dive into episode number 4 real quick. So please don't go anywhere. Stick around. Make sure that you catch episode number 4. It's such a pleasure being with you guys. You're such a lovely family. No one could ask for anything more. So I thank God for you guys. And don't forget again to follow us on our platforms. This is the Maps podcast. And by the way, we're right here in Uganda, Kampala. And you can follow me too as an individual. My name is Andrew, so it is Andrew Emmanuel Sperling on all my platforms. That's TikTok, Instagram, and also Facebook. All right. So, and you don't have to add Emmanuel. You can just put Andrew Sperling. All right. So catch you guys on episode number 4. See you then.